Okay, everyone, welcome. Let's plunge into a brand new deep dive.
Sounds great.
Today, our source is this really interesting 4-chapter story. It's called Phoenixseraph, Flame of Ascension.
Mm-hmm.
And our goal really is to unpack the whole narrative. We want to look at Aiyana's journey, how she goes from being a high school cheerleader to this figure, Phoenixseraph.
Right. And what's useful here is that the source gives us the complete origin story, start to finish, all in these chapters. We see the whole arc.
Okay, so let's start with chapter 1, Spark of the Spirit. We meet Aiyana. She's the star cheerleader at Aurora High. The source really plays up her spirit, doesn't it?
It does. She's not just performing, she's genuinely lifting people up. It sets the stage.
Then the inciting incident hits. It's pretty grim. A huge wildfire during a championship event.
Yeah, a real tragedy unfolding.
But here's the pivot. Instead of running from the fire, Aiyana runs into the smoke to help other students trapped inside.
And that's where it happens. Right there, in the middle of the danger, this mystical bird, the eternal phoenix, appears to her.
It wasn't just random then.
No, the source is clear. The phoenix saw her courage, her purity of spirit in that moment, and it transfers its essence to her.
Saves her life, obviously, but more than that.
Oh, yeah. Way more. It ignites her destiny, connects her innate spirit to something, well, supernatural. It's the catalyst moment.
Which leads us straight into chapter 2, Rise of the Phoenixseraph.
The aftermath.
Exactly, her transformation.
So Aiyana wakes up
Mm-hmm.
different. There are physical signs, right? Like these golden flame marks.
Yes, on her arms, and this sort of glowing aura from her hands. Plus, she starts getting visions from the phoenix spirit inside her, guidance.
And she discovers powers, manipulating sacred flame.
But what's crucial, and the source really emphasizes this, is the kind of flame. It's not for burning things down.
Ah, okay, so not destructive.
Not at all. It's explicitly for renewal, for protection, for bringing light. Very different from your typical fire powers.
Huh. It almost echoes her cheerleader role, using energy to lift up, not tear down. Precisely. And she leans into this, takes the name Phoenixseraph, starts training in secret.
Training like, what, flying?
Yeah, learning to soar on wings made of fire, channeling her emotions, fear, hope, determination, into bursts of this sacred flame. It's quite the image.
Okay, so she's got the powers, the name. Chapter 3, Trial of the Flame Hearts, must be where she faces real threats.
Correct. The world starts facing these new dangers. The source mentions dark forces, manifesting as huge storms, cruel warlords, even beasts made of fear.
Nasty stuff. And Phoenixseraph.
She steps up, becomes the defender. We see her using her powers in specific ways, calming monsters, not just fighting them, reigniting hope in communities that were, broken.
So not just fighting, but healing, too.
Yes, and confronting enemies when necessary. The source mentions things like graceful flame kicks and using her radiant voice. Her control gets stronger, more refined.
Pure, elegant, fierce, that's how it's described.
Exactly. And this is when her legend starts to spread. She's seen less as just a local hero and more like a divine guardian.
Which brings us nicely to the climax in Chapter 4, Light Eternal, the final showdown.
Mm-hmm. Against the main antagonist, the Shadow Tyrant.
And there's a key detail about him, something about hope.
Yeah, the source says his heart had, completely lost hope, being consumed by despair. It's a direct contrast to her.
So the tyrant attacks.
Unleashes this massive, world-ending firestorm, peak destruction.
And Phoenixseraph.
She fully embraces the phoenix power within, transforms. The description is intense, a blinding figure of light and wings. Her ultimate move is called the Crown Fire Ascension.
Crown Fire Ascension, what does it do? Just beat the bad guy.
It does more. It doesn't just counter the tyrant's fire, it purifies the land itself. And remarkably, it even heals the tyrant's soul, his lost hope.
Wow. So it's victory and redemption.
Exactly. It's a thematic win. Her flame of hope is powerful enough even to touch deep despair. She returns, changed, basically a living symbol of hope. The story really uses every element to build that message.
Absolutely. What a transformation from spirited cheerleader facing a fire to this guardian figure healing the land and souls. It's quite something.
It really is. And it leaves you thinking, doesn't it, about this whole idea of rising from the ashes.
How so?
Well, think about how the story uses flame, something we normally see as destructive, for protection, for renewal, even healing. It's a powerful metaphor.
Right. Using the destructive element constructively.
Exactly. So maybe consider, how does that metaphor play out? What does a story like this suggest about finding strength, maybe even purpose after a crisis? Not just in fiction, but maybe in how we understand our own recoveries, our own resilience. Something to mull over.